Social media doesn't grow businesses anymore, and it's not because of the algorithm. It's failing because of a growing trust freeze that's changing how people decide who to trust online. And the businesses that make the right pivot now won't just survive that shift. They're going to be worth more because of it. So if you've felt this, if you've been posting and following all that social media advice, but it's not turning into clients, I'm going to show you exactly what's changing right now and why it makes social media the worst possible place to build your business. And then later, I'm going to show you what is working for my students and countless businesses like yours to build trust that compounds over time instead of just disappearing. So to understand why social media stopped working, you have to see what's shifting underneath it. Right now, only about 1 to 2% of the content in your social media feed is AI generated. Some of it you can spot really easy, but some of it you genuinely can't even tell. It looks real, it sounds real, feels like a human being made it. Like, could you even tell me right now which of these 3 posts is AI and which is real? Yeah, they're all fake and it's pretty hard to spot. So 1 to 2% now, but that number is expected to climb past 50% within the next few years. And when that happens, there's going to be a really big flip in how people think about social media. Right now, when you see a piece of content from someone you've never heard of, your brain's default setting is it's probably real. You might be skeptical of the advice, but you assume there's a real person behind it. That default is what makes the whole system work. It's why you can discover someone new, watch one video, follow them, and eventually buy from them. And up till now, we've all taken that chain for granted. But when half of everything you see might be generated by AI, that default flips, right? Instead of probably real, your brain's going to categorize everything you see as probably fake until proven otherwise. And that one shift breaks everything. Cold outreach DMs stop working because people don't trust strangers anymore. Content from creators you don't know is scrolled past because why would you risk your time? And social ads convert worse because people are just too skeptical. And I call this the trust freeze. And make no mistake, it's not a question of if that's going to happen, it's how soon will it happen. Now, most people hear that and they panic, or they wait to see what happens. Neither reaction's going to help you because there's something about this freeze that changes the math for everyone who sees it coming and pivots their strategy. When people picture trust eroding online, they assume that it's going to hurt everyone equally, but it doesn't. 2 separate groups are forming right now, and it's really important that you're on the right side of it. Group 1 are the people who built trust with an audience before the trust freeze hits. Group 2 are the people who wait to start after. Let's say you're one of the smart ones who joins Group A. So you start now, then if someone already knows you, already trusts you, already sees you as a real human with real expertise, all that trust you built doesn't disappear when the trust freeze happens. It just gets more valuable because when people can't tell what's real anymore, they're going to cling to the people that they already believe in. Think of it this way. Every piece of content you create right now is a deposit into what I'm going to call your trust vault. You're building equity, and that equity appreciates over time. There's a short window to get started, not a specific date, but a window that's getting narrower by the day. Once audiences flip into default skepticism mode, content from people they've never heard of is barely going to register, especially if they don't see that other people already trust you through things like comments and social signals like that. You're either already in someone's trust vault or you're knocking on it from the outside. So the people who build trust with an audience before the freeze basically get grandfathered in, right? Their trust carries over, it compounds. It becomes one of the most valuable assets their business owns. The people who try to start after, they're going to be playing the exact same game on hard mode. Same effort, same level of expertise, yet completely different outcomes for both groups. The only variable is timing. How quick can you act? Quick side note, if you want to know right now whether your business is even a fit for this, I built a free tool called TubeBrain that's going to tell you in about a minute. So the link is down in the description if you want it. All right, so if the clock is ticking, the obvious question is, where do you go to fill your trust vault as fast and as permanently as possible? Most people's instinct when they feel this kind of urgency is to just go harder on social media. Post more reels, show up on LinkedIn every day, finally start that TikTok account. And on the surface, that makes sense. That's where the eyeballs are. But there's also a structural problem with social media that makes it the worst possible place to build your trust vault. Imagine depositing all your client checks into an ATM that's on fire. You walk up every week, you feed your money in, and it just burns. That's how social posting works. A reel you posted last Tuesday, it's buried by Thursday. And that LinkedIn post you spent 2 hours on last year, that burned up in the first week. You're not building wealth that way. You're not compounding anything. You're just feeding a fire and calling it a strategy. And the part that really stings is every hour you spend depositing into that burning ATM is an hour you could have spent depositing somewhere that your trust actually compounds, somewhere where your effort from 6 months ago is still working for you today, somewhere your trust vault actually fills up rather than draining to zero every week, which raises the question, where does trust actually compound? There's one platform where trust deposits work completely differently, and the reason isn't just the algorithm or the features. It's the psychology of the person on the other side of the screen. On social media, you're interrupting someone mid-scroll, right? They never asked for you. They're half paying attention, just swiping past everything that doesn't grab them in 2 seconds. So you have to earn trust from a standing start against their will while they're barely looking. That's accidental attention. But YouTube doesn't play that game. Here, you get something much, much better. Chosen attention. Someone doesn't just stumble across your video mid-scroll. They typed a specific problem into a search bar. How to quit smoking. Best way to invest for retirement in my 40s. They showed up with intent, right? They're actively looking for someone to trust. That's a completely different psychological starting point. But it goes deeper than just search, right? YouTube also surfaces your videos to people based on what they've already been watching. So if someone's already been looking at videos about saving on their taxes or training a puppy, and you made a video on that same topic, YouTube can put your video in front of them too. Now that might sound like social media, right? An algorithm deciding what to show people, but there's a critical difference. So on social, content just appears mid-scroll. You watch whatever lands in front of you, or you don't. On YouTube, they give viewers a menu of options and they choose which one to click on. They look at the thumbnails and the titles and decide, that's the one I want to watch. That's a deliberate commitment that they opted in for. And that act of choosing clears a trust hurdle that some social media feed never does. So whether someone found you through search or because YouTube matched your video to their interests, the dynamic is the same. They chose to be there. And when the default trust is dropping across the internet, that matters. Skeptical, overwhelmed people aren't just going to keep scrolling. They want to look for a guide they can trust. And YouTube is where they go to find that guide. And the platform itself actively helps connect them to you. But here's the compounding piece, which is the coolest part. So if social media is that burning ATM, YouTube is more like investing in the stock market, right? Your investments compound and every video you make earns interest. Because that video you make, it doesn't disappear on you in 48 hours. It stays and it actually grows. It keeps getting recommended. One video you make this Friday could bring you clients on repeat for the next 3 years. Your trust vault keeps filling up while you sleep, while you're with your family, even while you're serving the clients you already have. When the trust freeze hits, and trust me, it's coming, you won't be starting from zero. You're going to be sitting on years of compounded trust equity that someone who starts after the freeze literally can't catch up to. Now, let me show you what this actually looks like for someone running an expertise-based business. So I want you to picture 2 business owners, same niche, same level of expertise, and let's just say they started making content at exactly the same time today. Business owner A goes the social media route, let's say 5 reels a week, and each one reaches a few hundred to a few thousand people. Some might be interested and in the market for what they have to offer, but 98% of them aren't. Only a tiny percent engage with them, and then an even tinier percentage than that click through to their website. And then by Friday, Monday's reel is 99% used up, and then next week, they start over from scratch. But business owner B takes the same amount of time to publish 1 video a week on YouTube, built all around a specific question that their ideal client's actively searching for. That video gets found by people who are already looking for a solution to their problem. They watch for 8, 10, 15 minutes, then they watch another video and another. That is more time with you in a single sitting than a month of Reels would ever get you. But it gets better because then YouTube puts another of your videos on their home screen next week when they come back. Each video stacks on the last, and their trust vault fills up with your videos. Now, to make this more real, I want to show you what happened to Ashley Rose when she did this. So she's a consultant who helps people automate their businesses with the software Airtable. She's putting hours into Instagram every week and just watching every post she made disappear within 2 days. Sounds familiar. So she tried YouTube. She put up a handful of videos in early 2023, but then she got busy and stopped. So she actually forgot she ever made them and just moved on with her life. The thing is, a year later, she noticed that those videos were still getting views without her even touching them. So she went back to YouTube and she started posting again. Just simple weekly videos, and then within months, people were messaging her out of nowhere, begging to work with her. She actually had so many people reaching out that she had to open up extra spots on her calendar just to keep up with it. But this all comes with a catch, right? It only works if you start while the window is still open. The whole point of the trust vault is that you're making deposits into it before the trust freeze is over, and it's 10 times harder for new people to break through. If you wait until AI content is even 30 to 40% of what people see, or if you wait until your ideal clients are already in that default skepticism mode, you're trying to make deposits into a vault that's completely sealed shut. The people who start now, even imperfectly, even with small audiences, are going to have a compounding head start that those latecomers can never catch up to. Not because they're better, it's because they slid in under the deadline. And here's the uncomfortable math. Every month you spend depositing into that burning ATM instead of investing in your trust vault isn't just wasted effort. It's a widening gap, right? The people who started YouTube 6 months before you aren't just 6 months ahead. They're 6 months of compounded results ahead. And that gap just gets wider every single month. Not by addition, by multiplication. So if you're thinking this sounds like something worth paying attention to, and trust me, it is, the only thing you need now is a game plan. And I've got it right here. I've created the free app called TubeBrain that's gonna help you figure out how good a fit your business is for YouTube, and also the next 5 videos you should make to attract and convert your viewers into paying clients. So click right here to sign up. It's 100% free, and it's the only missing piece for you right now.